Probably the only person I would ever guess would have Grumpy Old Man poster. Grumpy Old Man poster.
Yeah, we were looking for like a Christmas movie. And I think of that one as a Christmas movie, but I also wanted like Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau on the wall, so it worked, but it is weird. I mean, there's a lot of weirdness on the walls, but it's happy hour at the Manor Bar, so let's get into it. So this is a weird mess of shit, and that's where we're starting tonight, because I think both you and I feel like weird messes of shit right now, right?
That is fair to say.
So, let us start on your side. So the first up is a juice. It's a diet juice. It says it contains 7% juice. It's 5 calories per cup. And this is just cranberry. So I do have an episode of nothing but the juices, because there were 9 of them. 9 seemed like overkill, so we're going to try these here. And I know you're excited about the question, so why don't you go ahead and read that question?
Why might you consider seeing a psychiatrist?
Is that the sort of question you were looking for?
That was not the sort of question I was looking for.
You can't make it work for you somehow?
I mean, I can make it work for me for sure. But that wasn't one. This is a very, like, down-to-earth, serious question, but I was expecting, like, some more, like, some more...
It'll probably come.
Oh, I'm sure it will, but yeah, that's a very interesting question to start off the bat with this weird mix of stuff. But also, is that show called Nothing But Juice?
If you would like me to name it that, I will name it that.
just the one with nothing but juice.
Nothing but juice. Okay,
yeah.
I can go for it. In case this is completely confusing, what's in here is from, like, I got some stuff from Broken Bow, Oklahoma. So this is a Beavers Bend Brewery beer. These are 2 from, what's this one? Mountain Fork Brewery.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why I have them stacked, but we'll get to that. And then I have a wine from Girls Gone Wine. Yeah, so a lot of Broken Bow and then just some weird shit. There's a Toadies beer down here.
I saw that.
Yeah. Do you want some juice?
Yeah. Okay, so...
It's all good.
We're actually going to drink it. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's room temperature, by the way, so sorry. There wasn't room in the fridge, and I figured the juices could be...
It smells like hospital Jell-O, liquefied.
That's perfect. I'm not even going to add to that.
Not as diety as I thought it was going to be. No, big on flavor, not sugar. It has 1 gram of sugar. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good for this. It's still sweet.
It has a nice tart punch to it, but the sweetness just dials that down perfectly. You all right?
I'm laughing because we're tasting juice.
Gotta taste all the drinks, huh?
Okay. It's not the weirdest thing I've done.
I mean, if you want to think about it in a health light, we're hydrating at the front, we're hydrating at the back. So,
you know, cranberry is good for urinary tract health.
That's what I hear.
I know that's the truth. Like, I know that that's the case for women. I don't know if that's the case for men.
I don't know. I haven't really used it. I saw...
Good for you.
Years ago.
Good for you.
I've never really needed to.
Good for you.
I'm sorry.
No, good for you.
Yeah. I drink way too much. It's not good for me.
That you don't need to drink it because you don't have the...
UTI issue?
Yeah. I didn't say I had one. I'm not insinuating I have one. I'm just... Yeah.
You mean to tell me that would suck? That's a good thing I'm feeding you juice, I guess. Well, on the topic, I was actually going to say that there's some scientific backing to something called D-mannose powder. You just mix it into your drinks, and it's supposed to help clear UTIs as well. So if you wanted to double down at some point, D-mannose powder.
Do you know what I do when I feel one coming on? I drink beer. Because that's what makes me pee. And then I just flush it right on out.
Yeah. Diuretic. Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to give the juice, just the normal cranberry, diet cranberry, I'm going to give it a 6. I like it. And I don't love it, but it does remind me of those Jellos. That's exactly what it reminds me of. And those aren't so sweet that I can't handle it. It's not like you're drinking a Boone's Farm or something. There's no alcohol there, but, whatever.
I mean, I think it's very delicious. I think that if I had the sugary one, it would be too sweet. And I like being reminded of hospital Jello because it honestly is the best Jello. So, did you give us a rating?
Yeah, I gave it a 6.
Oh, you gave it a 6. Okay, I'm gonna give it. It is room temperature, so I feel like
count.
It, but it's not its fault.
It's true.
It's not its fault, but
and only 5 calories per cup.
I'm gonna give it a 6 also because it's good. It's good. I would drink it over ice or cold or room temp. And I could see making good punch with it with like champagne and other delicious things that are low calorie. Champagne low calorie?
Probably not. I don't actually know.
Is it lower calorie than pasta?
It's lower calorie than pasta.
So it's low calorie, and you can use it with the juice, and this is low calorie too. Low calorie drink you can enjoy. Ooh, spritzer.
Yeah. Totally do that.
Okay, now I got ideas.
Blend it with ice. Yeah. Shrink.
So yeah, why might you consider seeing a psychiatrist?
By the way, I've always wondered, maybe is the term shrink offensive?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And quack's probably offensive.
Yeah, I can see that one being offensive.
Well, yeah, no.
Do you want me to start?
Sure,
Make you feel a little better about your life?
Yeah.
I know you're in a weird space.
Get it.
I can't be anything but super honest on this one. I feel like if I saw a shrink, it would be primarily because I have suicidal thoughts. I have no intention of acting on them ever, but boom, they're there, here and there, out of nowhere. And I think to myself a lot as I watch a lot of like Unsolved Mysteries and shows like that. And people always say, like, this person would never do that. There were no signs. There were no, they were so happy. I also know from some life experience that you could be at the top. You could be the happiest person on the planet. But if you have a rough night, some people just don't make it through that rough night. Don't know where I was going with that. I intend to make it through the rough nights for the rest of my life. So you still don't have an answer, do you?
Oh, I've got a few answers, actually. That's the problem. I got too many choices.
That's all right. We'll let the audience be your psychiatrist. Your hour starts now.
I will expand on a little bit on what you said, maybe, because I have this, like, real, I have this, I don't want to call it fear, but maybe it is, but anxiety, perhaps, at least, that I could get everything that I want, and I might get everything I want, and I might not still be happy. And that's like a real, like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
why can't I be grateful? Like, firstly, for what I have, but then also, like, what my potential is. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people have potential, but I have a lot of potential, and I'm aware of it, and I just piss it away.
So maybe that's the human condition, right?
I'm not alone, yeah.
You're genuinely afraid that, like, success will bring this new type of sense of sadness or failure into your life?
Oh yeah, like, yeah, I'm not afraid of failure, because I can absolutely do it. I'm afraid of the success and what then I will have to face, and the questions I'll have to answer, then the emotions that I'll have, and yeah.
I could see being afraid of running out of dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you chase enough of your swans and you catch them, and what do you do then? But I tend to think that the brain likes to fill space. It rides its roller coaster, you know? So it's going to find a new high. Or not, you know, and you can hang yourself in a closet or whatever may happen. I have no idea.
You know what else?
Don't do that, ever, please.
I'm so angry. That's another reason. I'm so angry, and there's no reason to be angry, but look at me. I'm so angry right now.
Fidgety, man.
Even thinking about it. And angry that I lost my thought because I was thinking about how angry I was.
Was it about a relationship?
It was about not wanting to need people. It's like, I can be an island. Y'all leave me alone. Y'all aren't adding anything to me. Y'all are actually detracting from me. I don't need y'all. But then also, I need y'all. That sucks. That absolutely sucks.
Yeah. Social creatures.
Yeah.
Again, the human condition. See, this is why I couldn't be a psychiatrist, because you wouldn't leave feeling good. Be like, well, he told me some shit I already knew. So my
degree's in psychology, and I'd just be sitting like, yeah, you're right.
Do you think in that practice most people would kind of talk themselves out of their own problems?
Yeah.
They're mainly as like a support lever?
Yeah, because there's so many times, I don't know if y'all have this, but you start, like, you have a question, you start asking somebody close to you about that question, and then just asking the question, you kind of answer it for yourself. Sometimes we just need a sounding board.
Yeah.
And an unbiased one is great too. Someone that's not going to interject their own shit or things they know about you and your history, or, you know, just someone to be like, oh, yeah, no, that does sound like it could be pretty rough. Let's maybe unpack a bit of that.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to find, because everyone you know, and they have to deal with you and the outcomes of whatever advice they give.
Yeah.
So did you need to give a third or a fourth? Or
okay? This is something that I've thought about for a few years now. It was like one of the very first things I started thinking about, and I was like, what are the things that I grew up thinking about? How did that shape what I'm doing now? And one of the things is, like, when I was very young, I thought, you know, I want to be a writer, I want to be an artist, I want to be creative. And then I thought, well, in order for those things to happen, for you to be, like, authentic, genuine, you have to suffer, just like artists suffer. And you have to, you know, if you want to create art, you got to suffer for that art. And I think a lot of things I just bring into my own, and I just torture myself, and it's unnecessary.
Okay.
It's really weird.
So you really went full hog on that. Like, it has to hurt or it can't be beautiful.
Yeah, it's like it's like I need, like, a behavioral cognitive therapy to get over it. Like, that really, really terrible, I won't say terrible, just really ineffective way of thinking.
Yeah, I would have to agree that it's an ineffective way of thinking, not to knock the mental process.
No, it's absolutely, like, paralyzing.
I think it's probably a crutch that we use in society to make, you know, starving artists feel better about their plight in life, you know, because I feel like the best art
I
I
need
create.
more juice for
You're
this.
good. When I was at my best, I feel like I was happiest. Things were easiest in my life. You know, you had more time to focus, and everything felt like inspiration because it just felt good. But I get that there's a lot of like really sad art out there too you wouldn't have if not for the suffering, and that's probably what moves people more or most. Anyway, rant ended. I'm done.
But also, you know, are all the artists suffering? Are they all suffering? I feel like we were told, like, oh, they're like starving and struggling all the time, but that wasn't always the case.
That's true.
Some of those artists were revered in their time, and some of them were just crazy and couldn't fall. And I really relate to Van Gogh. That guy fell in love just like that with like all the most inappropriate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What you gonna do? I'd be on board with like Bukowski. I feel like I'm gonna be that old drunk that's happy because I'm so cynical. You know. I love life now that I've shit all over everything. I don't know.
He's funny. No, he's funny.
I need a drink, and not a diet cranberry
Only
drink.
if it's got vodka in it will I drink that cranberry again before alcohol.
Okay. Before alcohol. Well, we'll see how you feel when you get down here.
Yeah, we just need more alcohol. That's all, and then I'll continue drinking it. Need be.
So Mountain Fork's up next, and I stacked these because I forgot to rate the light whenever it was on the show originally. Oh. So I'm going to rate this, but I put them back to back like this. One, because it's already been on the show and we're not supposed to do repeats, but this thing, when I was buying this, it's Honky Tonk American Light Ale. The lady at the counter asked the guy standing next to her if it's still ringing up as a light ale, which made me think, this is this, just repackaged. I'm guessing that's not actually the case and that they just hadn't entered like a SKU for this, so it wasn't actually ringing this up and they had to say it was the light. Anyway, I'm going to try them both along with you.
Okay.
I guess ABV might clarify this, huh? So this one's 4.2%. This one doesn't want me to know. 4.2%. All right. So the light on the right. So,
light on the right.
Honky Tonk on the left. I'll read the question. What's a problem you tend to have which also plagues people in most third world countries? Fun questions.
What is a problem you tend to have which also plagues people in most third world countries? Light on the right.
So there's a slight color variation between these two.
Yes.
They smell mostly similar, but
I like Honky Tonk smell better.
I agree. There's like a lemon note that's coming off of this one and more beer that's coming off of this.
Yes, true. I'm getting that also. Little T true.
It's almost close to that like Belgian thing that I like. Anyway. I had a 6-pack of the Honky Tonk, and I'm pretty sure that light is not the Honky Tonk.
No, that light is very light. I like the Honky Tonk. That would be the lightest my beer would go.
Whew. It's got some funk on it.
I don't mind the funk. I don't mind the funk.
It's more in line with because it smells like it's going to be foreign, but then it tastes American. Like I'm getting Miller vibes from it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm not mad at it. All right, I want to rate this light. get the hell on with my life because it's the only one that I haven't rated so far on the show. It pisses me off.
By all means, then.
It's drinkable, but I want a beer, and this is too light for me. I'm gonna go with a 3. There's just not much here. There's more scent than there is flavor. Mm-hmm. And there's not a whole lot of scent.
Yeah, like I could drink it, but it's not good.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel.
No more than a 3, and that's like generous.
All right.
I'm kind of mad at it actually. I want to give it a 2. I'm mad.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, there's something wrong with that.
It did
Nothing wrong with you wanting to rate it a 2.
Evoked something from me. But yeah, no, I'm.
Wash that out of my mouth and think about the Honky Tonk.
Yeah, it smells like a butt.
The Honky Tonk?
No, the light.
Yeah. So I got like a lemon spice or something off the top. But that was very, very minor.
Well, I'm glad they're not the same.
Agreed. Really not a fan of the light. The Honky Tonk is not my kind of beer. That having been said, I do appreciate it. I feel like if I was at a party, I could probably drink quite a bit of that. I'll go with a 5 on it. I think if you like American light beers, whatnot, you'd probably go higher than I am, but I don't know. It's decent.
Yeah, if you like Lone Star and Miller, and I think it's comparable, but it is a very good next to this light.
Yeah,
but I'd also give it a 5. It's decent. It's like, yeah, if I had light beers and then this one, I don't know what the alcohol content on those light beers are, but
they're both 4 point. Oh, the other ones, the American ones.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a case of kind of like anything shines next to a turd, so I'm trying not to give it too much credit, but I went through the 6-pack, and I can tell you it's a decent beer.
So far the cranberry juice is in the lead.
Who knew that was going to be the winner for the night? Our good old cranberry juice.
My urinary tract.
I have avoided cranberry juice like the plague for a long time. I felt like there were so many alcoholic drinks made in college days with cranberry juice that I have avoided it. But I'm kind of regretting that now because that was genuinely a good tasting drink. Do you like Red Bull? I did. I can't have caffeine anymore, so.
Oh, well, yeah, then definitely don't drink that.
Yeah, this is probably why I have suicidal thoughts sometimes, because I can't have caffeine.
Well.
It's a life ender, you know. Caffeine is it's a hell of a drug. It is, actually.
It is. It is a hell of a...
It's a drug.
It's a drug. Caffeine is a drug.
And coffee's a diuretic, just like beer, so it will dehydrate you as well.
Yeah.
For whoever needs to know that.
Everybody. We're all made of water, like a significant amount.
Quite a bit. The amount of water they actually want you to drink in a day, or that you should drink in a day, it's crazy.
64 ounces, right?
It's supposed to be...
Or 80.
What is it? Half an ounce for every pound. So you take your weight, you cut it in half. That's how many ounces you're supposed to drink a day. I'm a big dude. That's probably why it feels like a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at some point, that's a lot of water.
Yeah.
For anyone, you know. They say don't drink a gallon a day. Some people will drink a gallon a day, walking around with their gallons.
Yeah.
Other doctors will say, yeah, no, that's not necessarily that good for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's all about your body and what's right for you.
You have to have the electrolytes to absorb it well anyway, you know, and not be on the diuretics. We're full of fun tonight. I think we need more alcohol in us. I was going to say something, but it probably doesn't matter because
Look at me.
So, third world country.
I had an answer that immediately got into my head.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it's like truth. Small t.
Let's let people in third world countries judge it.
Okay, well, what is a problem you tend to have, which also plagues people in most third world countries? Well, the first word that popped into my head was diarrhea.
Okay.
But really, I don't have a problem with diarrhea. I'm probably on the constipation side,
Okay.
which
So
also happens in third world countries.
It does.
Diarrhea was just funnier.
Yeah. Lack of fluids and lack of fibers.
Dehydration.
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. My mind just went completely blank. Like, I know what my answer is, but there were so many retorts to diarrhea. And by the end of that, they were just all gone. Like, I did not expect the world to spin 180 degrees on that, but good answer. Mine kind of relates, I guess. Not really. You might have to go to a hospital for it. That's what I was thinking. We rank last, pretty much, in most, by most standards, as far as health outcomes go in the U.S. We like to purport our dominance of all sorts of things and how we're the best in the world at this and that. But our health outcomes are not great. And I feel like I know a lot of people who are living proof of that. So not having enough money to go to the doctors as much as you need.
Do you want some more beer?
Oh, I'm going to take some Honky Tonk.
Sorry, I didn't
No,
you,
you're good. It's access to healthcare. That's what I would say. I can't even go see someone apart from my primary care physician without a referral at this point. And getting a referral is like pulling teeth, and then they send it to the wrong people. And all of this is our fault as the insureds. I don't understand. It's American healthcare system is a nightmare.
That's a true statement. I don't know if that's a big T or a little T.
Well, you've had life-saving care, so
This
I feel
is
like
true.
I might be overstepping.
No. I could tell you some stories.
I bet you could.
Horrific.
And you probably will. And I look forward to it. But I want you to be excited about the fact that your wine is up next.
Ooh.
Now, I hope you don't like to know too much about your wine.
But the healthcare thing was such a
keep
good
talking.
answer.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
It's just, yeah.
I'm a broken record. So.
It's in such poor, it's unbelievably bad. Unbelievably so.
A
The
lot
whole
of things
referral
are.
thing is just fucked off. I gotta wait 3 weeks to get in to see a doctor to get a referral to wait another 6 to 9 weeks to see the specialist.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't enjoy time with my family because my anxiety is really bad, but I still have to wait 3 weeks to see that primary care doctor so they can write me a script for the
You're good.
anxiety medication.
And that sumbitch will time out.
So Mitchell, time the fuck out.
Like I was saying, I hope you don't like to know much about your wine, because this doesn't tell us much. I think some of their bottles do. This was just in our cabin when we got to, not our last cabin, but the one before that. We've been going to cabins way too much recently.
That's cool. I love cabins.
So that's where we stayed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Casa del Rey.
Yeah, which they
Swank.
they misspelled the name of the cabin on the front. It's R-A-Y there at the end, but who's counting? They don't tell you the ABV. They don't tell you what kind of wine it is or what sort of grapes it's made with. Oh, excuse me. White table wine.
They're making it in a toilet.
Now, we as in my family and people who've been to the cabins with us, we've gone to Girls Gone Wine. We've done their tours. They're awesome. They get you really drunk. They give you all sorts of goodies. I can't say enough good things about this, and most of the time you know exactly what you're drinking.
And they're in Broken Bow?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, very awesome that this was just sitting free in the cabin we went to. So I don't want to sound like I'm bitching. I just thought it was funny that can't really tell much about what this is. It's clearly a white wine.
Table wine.
White table wine.
White table wine. It's got a nice glug 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 noise when I pour it. Ooh, it smells like Boone's Farm. It smells.
It kind of does.
It smells more like juice than the juice that we drink.
It's got like a pineapple. There's another fruit to it too. I think it smells exquisite. I'm not a white wine person.
I kind of smell cigarettes. I'm not joking.
That's brutal.
I'm not joking. It's not me.
All right, we're going to try this next question and see if it rings true for anything you want to talk about tonight. How can you tell if someone is lying to you? I think we may have hit a jackpot there.
Well, if they're a guy, their mouth's moving. Uh-huh.
See, I don't even get a present company, no. It's cool. It's cool.
Try to give your whole...
I'm guilty by association. I
tried to give you all benefit of the doubt time again. Just, if it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's a motherfucking duck.
I feel like I'm back home. Back in the house I was raised in. All the ladies.
They talk like this because we know
we are one, but we hate them. Maybe, I don't know.
No, I'm not even gonna think about this question in the way about men. I'm not even gonna think about it in men or women terms. I'm just gonna think about it as people. How can you tell if someone is lying to you?
You'll have to ask my wife at some point, by the way, if the opposite is preferable. Because I have that say too much constantly about your own truths thing. I feel like people don't really, I've probably talked about this before, I feel like people don't want truth. They just want whatever you're thinking to be in line with their desire. So.
Yeah, you could not have said that better.
Kiwi, by the way, I think is what I'm picking up on top of this. It's kiwi fruit. I'm about it. Let's see how it tastes.
I could see that. Yeah, I could absolutely see kiwi. Not see it. I could smell it. Kiwi's always been a fruit that's good in theory for me, and then when I eat it, I'm like,
It's okay. At best.
It's so beautiful, and then when you eat it, you're just like, yeah, okay. Where are the strawberries and the pineapple?
Yeah. This is what I imagined when I was young and I saw I Love Lucy, and you find out that a lot of old wines are made with people's feet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a foot person, but not, there's some funk foot thing happening here. Again, not a white wine person. It's not tart. It's not
tart.
Bitter.
It's not tart. It's not sweet. It's not bitter. It tastes like white grape juice.
Yeah. The funk's kind of going away now, and I'm getting more of the kiwi on top.
It doesn't even taste alcoholic to me. You don't taste alcohol.
I mean, maybe there's no alcohol in it. They don't tell us. There's alcohol in it, I promise you. This is what this brewery in particular does, is they hide it and they fuck you up really, really good.
Chandra, Michelle, and Rhonda. Chandra and Rhonda.
I don't say, were you not finished? I apologize.
I had nothing more to say.
Okay.
Just
I thought you were going to talk about their names or something.
Nope.
The more I drink this, the more I like it. Not a white wine person, but I really like the balance here. I'm going to go with a 6. Again, not a white wine person, so you might feel better about this. I could see it getting overly sweet after a while, but it would take a while. If you mix like a normal, like Pinot Grigio, maybe it would have to be something a little sweeter than that. I don't know what that would be.
Pinot gets a little sweet for me after a while.
You think so?
When I was younger, I liked to drink it, but now it is too sweet, and I'll actually have Chardonnay before I'll have Pinot.
Okay. I was going to say it's somewhere between that wine and like a Boone's Farm.
Mm-hmm. I would love to ice cranberry juice, wine, like half and half with like top that with club soda. That would be delish.
You ever bartended?
No. I did go to a bartending
like class? Or?
Like class preview. And I thought, why would I ever pay someone to teach me this? First of all, these people, they're not going to be fun.
No.
No,
They're too serious?
Nope, that was not the problem.
Let's
just say that if we were rating students in the class, I would be an A+, and the other students would be not A+. They sucked.
So they were bad at it?
They were just bad. They were just not cool.
That's weird.
They just weren't cool.
Oh, okay.
No.
So it wasn't.
They were dumb.
It was a personality problem.
There were flaws.
Like it was stale bread.
Like
a room full of stale bread.
Like it was an introductory class. They hadn't gotten our money yet. To be fair, they just wanted to get whoever, and so they just kind of pulled people in off the street. But bad for business because it didn't make me want to take class.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to have people I can work with, contact, network, not. Yeah.
I think you dig it.
Probably. I come from a long line of bartender women.
It's women
who own bars and restaurants, and all my cousins, all the females bartended. I
don't have to tell you anything. You mix plenty of drinks in your spare time, I'm sure. Yeah.
Too many. I keep like a bourbon cream liqueur in my fridge for my coffee.
Nice.
And there's always like tonic water and soda and water.
I have begun to appreciate that as I've gotten older. I was not a tonic water person for a long time, but yeah, I'm kind of there now. What do you think about the wine?
Like I said, if I mixed it with something, or if I were with people who drink like Moscato or something that's so sweet, and you're not really a wine drinker, you just want to get messed up on something sweet. That's what that is. We're not taste. We don't need to read the label. We don't need to this comes from finest foot grapes in all of Southern California. No, we're here to. This comes from Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and we squish it with our toes. It's table wine. It goes next to our table salt and our table country crock.
Yeah, if you're the sort of person who would never notice that the bottle said white table wine, you'd absolutely love this one.
That is so true. Yeah, you wouldn't care. You'd be like, "Oh, that's a nice cabin. We should go there for Memorial Day weekend next year." Because we just had that.
Someone lying to you. You kind of already gave part of an answer. I'm sure you have more. Right. Maybe not.
Been lied to a lot.
Okay. I think the indicator for me is when someone is saying way too much. And I also pay attention to what recently, this is kind of off topic, but new life philosophy for me is to pay attention to what people aren't saying.
Oh, like nonverbal cues?
Yeah. Or like if a conversation was flowing specific direction, you were talking about a wide range of things, but suddenly one or two of those things got cut from the conversation. It's not part of the responses. You get an idea, okay, well, that person clearly has no interest in talking about those things. But lying, it's just when someone they're trying to explain something to you or tell you about something and it's just way too many words. It's not definitely not surefire, because I understand people feeling like they're cornered, and really trying to compensate for it, even though they're telling you the truth. But I don't think you can actually know. That's just the best indicator I have.
Mm.
Because even a lie detector test is not admissible in court anymore.
Nope.
Because turns out even that they thought was so surefire, it's junk science. So good luck knowing who's a lying. I almost said bitch, but you're. I mean, if I'm going to use the word bitch, I would mostly use it toward men anyway.
I have no problem with the word bitch.
Okay.
I have no problem with words in general. No words are off limits for me. I'm going to think about that one really hard.
Might have to test that at some point.
No words are off limits to me. Now, can you say a word a whole bunch where it loses meaning and, like, punch? Yeah, for sure. And I'll be like, whatever, you sound dumb now. But, like, any word? No, I'm not sure. There's a lot of bitches.
I think words can be revealing. But we also use words to... So if we think something is offensive and we hear another person saying it a lot, we can kind of project our thoughts of that person's discriminatory feelings, towards whatever that word is, like racial slurs or stuff like that. Doesn't necessarily mean that's where the person is coming from, but I worry about the projection aspect. Otherwise, I don't really care about words either. Like,
oh, yeah.
My two favorite words are words I'm never supposed to say, so. Ever.
They're probably my favorite ones.
Oh, damn.
Tell me I'm not supposed to say a word and I'll say it.
Yeah. I bet you will.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of people lie. A lot of people lie. I really kind of meant what I said. Like, how can you tell? Their mouths are moving. And I don't mean just like men, just people in general.
Do you feel like you lie a lot?
So here's the thing.
Always a great start. That's like a but in the middle of a sentence. Like, okay, did we just discount everything we heard before now? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I can remember the last time that, like, I lied, and it was like an omission of the truth kind of lie. And I immediately had like this gut feeling, and this was 2018, and it was one guy, and he wanted to hang out with me, and I really liked another guy, but this other guy was just like, wanted to hang out with me all the time. Anyway, I told him, I was just like, yeah, I don't really want to hang out. Like, I'm not doing anything tonight, but I'm not going to hang out. And then I got the phone, and I was like, wait a second. Why are you lying to him? You don't even want to hang out with him.
Didn't you just tell him the truth? You didn't want to hang out with him?
But I didn't want to hang out with him, period. I didn't want to know him romantically at all. He kind of creeped me out.
Omitted part of yeah.
It
gets into
and so I called him back immediately. I was like, hey, that was a lie. I really have no interest in you that way. I'm really into this other guy, yada yada yada.
Nice.
And I kind of decided that night that felt really good.
Yeah.
And I probably hurt him, but it felt really good. Got him off my back. Freed him up to go do some other crazy shit.
Yeah, and even if
won't even get into that, but
even if it did hurt him, it probably
set him free.
Yeah, it set an expectation that he probably hoped for every other interaction he ever had.
Well, and here's the other thing: I'd been telling him for weeks that he was doing too much. It was too much. I didn't want it. I just eventually had to nip it in the bud, but. I told myself, that felt really good. I want to keep doing that. I don't care how people feel. I care how people feel. Yeah. But I don't care if they get upset with what I feel is, my truth.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word, because that gets thrown around a whole lot. But what is truth? Anyway.
Otherwise, you walk around sleeping with people just because you feel sorry for them, and that's not good for you.
No, it's not good for you. For sure. So
no, it's not.
So yeah. Oh, but then also if you just want that, just be honest about it. No big deal. You don't need to lie and make yourself look awesome and like your relationship material just if you want to get your rocks off, because there are plenty of people, and some people are the same people. Maybe they don't care if it's a relationship or just that. Maybe they just want to know what you want and they're cool with whatever. But people still gotta lie.
Yeah.
People still gotta lie. It's like, I think I've mentioned this before, being in a polyamorous relationship. And it's like, all you have to do is tell me that you're interested or that you're dating or that you're going out with somebody. But it was hard for nobody ever did. And that was actually the time frame where this happened, where I was like, okay, Hal, if you are really going to live this lifestyle and you want to be open and you want people to be open with you, then you're going to have to be open too. But yeah, no, people have been lying to me ever since. And I can't really get mad because I've lied before and I've lied to myself, and a lot of people are lying to themselves and they don't know and they're in denial. And they're going to have to go back to question 1. Why might you consider seeing a psychiatrist to answer those
You're mad for the right reason,
questions
though. You want a higher degree of truth out of your relationships with people. That's...
Oh, yeah. No matter what that is. No matter what that is.
I think the problem is we're raised to not expect that.
No.
We don't think about it consciously. I don't think most people recognize it, but anyway. We could talk lies all night. I have an IPA next that I know you're totally excited about. Especially
I didn't rate the Honky Tonk.
You didn't?
No, I did. It's decent.
Okay.
Decent!
Did you rate it before now? Or are you just fucking with me?
No, I did, because I've had a 6, a 4, and now 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's rating it right now.
I had already rated it. I just forgot. That's the truth.
So.
Gut feeling.
Gut feeling.
Now I just know. Because, you know.
Well, like when people are lying to you?
Yeah, you just know when it doesn't fucking sound right.
Yeah.
When it doesn't come off right.
I don't trust myself.
As a detector?
Yeah, I really don't. I was with someone who I completely missed everything. Even until, like, I thought I've tried to credit myself with knowing most things. Even recently, I had to rethink something and be like, oh, that was a lie you've never thought about. And I felt like there's a lot of baggage associated with that I project onto other people. I don't know.
There's that projection again.
Humans are bad at this. But there is something to be said most of the time for your gut feeling. So I think if you're following that, you're going to be right more often than not. So if that's the goal, then you're on the right track.
That's all I got, man.
You see how big this is?
Yeah. It reminds me of like when you could go up to Free Play when it was on Hickory. Mm-hmm. Well, it's still on Hickory, but Hickory and Carroll.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but they may not.
Switched a little location. Yeah.
They did. They just moved right down the street. But you could go up there with your... Is that a growler? So I'm not cool enough to know these things, but like... Yeah.
You knew that thing. It's a growler. That's exactly what that is.
I never lived the growler life. Just on the outskirts.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I don't want to live the growler life. I actually complained to the owners of... what's this? Beavers Men Brewery. Mm-hmm. When we were up there, because if you've been watching the show, we haven't had many of their beers on. They actually don't even have the bottles in the brewery right now. They have like 20 beers on tap, which is awesome, but they're all on tap. You can't take them home unless you have a growler of some sort. But apparently they're working on a bigger building where they can actually can and get back to that. And so they said to hold tight because I really like a lot of what they do. Much more so sometimes than Mountain Fork. I shouldn't have said that out loud, but I did. Anyway, this is one I've never had before. I think it's called the Downtime. I apologize. Beavers Bend Mess. Yeah, this is Beavers Bend Downtime IPA. It is 5.8%. And it should still be good because I just took the tape off earlier. And I know you like IPAs. So it's your favorite beer, right?
It's my absolute Look at it. It looks like... I won't say.
I think your precise wording was... Yeah, people have forced me to drink these before, and I drank them.
Yeah, I drank them. So thick.
This one actually smells like an IPA. They have
yes, it does.
Something called a Later Dude IPA that I really like. It's almost a brown, doesn't have too much hop. It goes really nicely. What's your favorite time of day to go for a walk? You said heavy, right? Smells?
Oh.
Or something like that. I'm not trying to make you re-smell it. I just thought I would say something about heavy.
No, it was thick. I said it was nice and thick. But that wasn't related to the smell.
Visual?
It's actually not as heavy, like not as it doesn't fill my whole mouth with the taste that a normal IPA gives me. Yeah. I don't know, it's just a little on the lighter side.
Yeah, it's kind of gentle. Like the
gentle, that's a good way of putting it.
Mouthfeel is still about medium, which I like on an IPA. It's if it were any heavier, it would feel like a double. It's got a lot of hop in it. Joseph would taste this and be like, "Oh God, there's the roses." But
am I drinking double IPAs? No, not this one, but like
probably
maybe the other, maybe with the craft.
Yeah. Oh, I promise you are.
I just, they're called. Start calling crafties.
I love them. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes some of you I wish would like something other than IPA. That would be great.
Yeah, well, some of these places around here I go in and I'll order like a cocktail and they're just like, ugh. You don't want me to just fill a glass with some craft beer?
It has to be beer or they're upset?
Yeah. Okay, well.
See. Drink what you like. Don't judge other people for what they like to drink. I don't think that's fair.
Also,
I've probably done it, so shut up, whoever you are in the comments.
I like this, actually. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to agree.
I can drink it. It's not just super heavy.
I'm glad I have a growler, actually.
I'm actually going to drink more.
Now, not the best IPA I've ever had or anything. And I actually think their Later Dude IPA is better than this, but it's because it's more unique. It's not run of the mill. You can tell it's from Beavers Brewery, though. This is the kind of beer that they make. There's something in the ingredients that they're using, which is, it's familiar once you've tasted it a few times. It's going to remind you of the way that you recognize a Shiner or a Sam Adams beer. It's the same thing with Beavers Bend. And hence why I like them. Not to say it tastes like those things. I'm rambling about beer. I'm sorry.
It's the water.
I think you're right.
It's the water.
A little soft.
It is. That's what it is. Oh, dude, you totally called it. I'm trying to be really loud because that's what I think. I think you're right. I think it's the hard. I think it's the, yeah. That totally makes sense. That's why it's going down a little easier.
It's dangerous, too. IPA's hitting the spot right now. The water itself, mixed with some of the grain stuff they have going on top of the hop, does give me that creek water thing that I like. It's not as good as like a Sculpin IPA for me, but I will go, I'm going to say 7. It's easily a 7 for me.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely my favorite thing so far. And that's weird, IPA-wise, me, my hatred. I've had some kind of pain my whole life, and I just really want it to not be any worse. People talk now about their knees hurting, their back hurting. I'm like, I've dealt with that for a bit. I just want to hold out for a little bit longer.
Didn't you have Lyme?
I did.
Earlier in life?
I treated for Lyme, and I've had back surgery, like small back surgery, not major back surgery, but, like a Band-Aid that I'll have to address later on. I'm just waiting for technology to be better so it's less invasive, just healthcare.
Yeah. Yeah. Not in the States.
No. Hey, but you know what? I've thought about this, and other people that I know have done this. Sorry to get off topic, but like traveling and incorporating going to other places and having your healthcare needs met. Not like Canada, because, they're monitoring that, but like, Spain or Portugal or China or...
See, I'm thinking pure Europe. Even if it's northern, like Finland.
Oh, yeah.
Or, I don't...
Wales.
Yeah?
Sure. Why not?
Sure, why not? It's stuck in my head because it sounded good.
I just feel like if you went over there and you had money to give them and you were sick and needed it, they'd probably be like, all right, we take your money. I don't know what's wrong with our society. We got money. We got insurance.
My brother-in-law said something the other day that confused the hell out of me because I know they're in Japan. Mm-hmm. And he's barely paid anything to ever have anything done. Like he was real sick, had an ambulance called out, and was treated in a hospital for a few days. It only cost him like $30. I think both the kids cost them like $50-something. But he said something about the government giving free healthcare to certain kids as they go through grade school. And I was like, aren't they already insured just naturally by way of being in Japan? I was confused. I don't know. I think I probably misread what he wrote me because I tend to do that.
Well, you're busy. You can't always read everything.
I like to, though. I am trying my best to pay attention to your messages, to his messages. There are a few select people who I genuinely read every word and try my best to pay attention and respond. Because that matters to me, There are certain mainstays in your life, and I've kind of accepted if she started talking to me again out of the blue after Lyme disease and whatever else she went through, then she's probably a lifer,
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm a lifer. Which is why I ain't got time for bullshit or lies.
I feel that.
Yeah. Move on. I ain't got time. I'm a lifer.
It always confused me, right? Like, who wakes up and thinks, you know what I'm going to do for fun today? I'm just going to lie to everybody.
For fun.
Now, I fuck with people, but I tell them the truth like 10 seconds in.
Sure. That's different. No, manipulators, con man. Like, you're smart enough. I know I'm smart enough. We could do that shit. Yeah. But the energy and, like, the devious personality that it would require to get one over on people and, like, get your rocks off on that's not us. But probably come in contact with people like that. I know I do.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know. Those people are kind of far gone. I try my best to ignore it and just accept that they're in the world. But like anyone who's ever met my mother, I'm a real emotional dude. I'm thinking about how I'm affecting other people. I'm not hurting anyone on purpose. That's not what I set out to do. This IPA is real good if you can't tell.
It's super good. And it goes down real easy.
Thank you, Beavers Bend. Oh,
I like Beavers Bend.
Shit.
That's beautiful. I like that head. I love Beavers Bend.
You been up there?
Yes, a few times.
This place is right next to Girls Gone Wine. If you're driving up there from Texas, you pass it. It actually is on a hill, and they have tons of activities and like a chili dog stand that just sits outside. And
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's a cool area. Yeah. I want to stay in cabins up there.
Have you not?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Because I haven't invited you yet? Is that what?
Ding, 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 ding.
You're a dick.
It is expensive and boring to go rent cabins by yourself in the woods. That's why. I'm not trying to complain. I don't have any kids, I don't have a family, I don't have any boyfriends or girlfriends to hang out with. I'm just gonna do things by myself. But honestly, that's the truth. And I like doing things by myself, but sometimes I want to do things more than hang out with myself.
Well,
you know how weird it is to build a fire and then make s'mores by yourself? It's a lot of fun, but at some point you're like, you were out in the woods by yourself. Over a fire, making s'mores.
Cody called me recently wanting to do a cabin trip. And Raven's talked forever about wanting to do something out of the box, something out of the ordinary. I could totally see just a random group.
I got 2 kayaks.
I still love that shit. You have kayaks?
Dude, I have 2 kayaks. I got a tent that'll fit 5 people. I got all my gear. I got a winning personality. I'm helpful. I can build a fire. I can tend to a fire. I can cook over a fire.
But more importantly, what's your favorite time of day to go for a walk?
My favorite time of day to go for a walk. Man, I love to walk. Walking is like my favorite. I sold my car last year, so I'm on foot everywhere. And so I walk to work in the mornings, and I love the walk to work in the mornings because it's cool and the birds are all up. But sometimes I run into this old man friend of mine.
And he's a friend, so...
He's a friend. He wants to be more than friends, but... He's got a wife. And,
don't we all?
She's younger than him, too. Anyway, I'll be running late. I'll be walking late to work, and I'll run into him, and he's very old, and he just wants to talk. And so that's a more difficult time to walk in the morning, because I have to bypass him. That's not always easy to do. So I used to love walking in the afternoons, like at noon to 1, when everybody was going to lunch. I like to walk along the highway. I know that sounds really weird. It's not a real highway. It's 380. I know you know what I'm talking about, but these people are like, what this chick likes to walk along this highway in the middle of the day? But I don't do that anymore. But then I walk home at night, from work, and the sun's getting a little lower. But it's too busy. It's too busy that time of day. A lot of people come home from work, and, they're mean, and they don't stop, and they're always, like, motioning to you, like, get over, and you're like, I'm in this person's yard, and they're like, I'm scared that I'm going to hit you, and you're like, you're a car, I can see you. But, so it's a little tougher. I like to walk at night, but, cars stop up beside me and ask me if I want to ride, and I don't. Yeah.
That's so fucked.
I love to walk, though. Any time of the day. There's observations that I've made with walking at every time of the day.
See, now I've been accused in the past of not being sympathetic enough to a lot of sexism concerns, which I don't think is fair. Because, I've always thought about the fact that when I would go for night walks, my sisters couldn't do that shit.
Yeah.
I was attacked by dogs and stuff, but they would have been too. And that's the least of their concerns if they would have been out just walking the streets at night by themselves. I'd put my headphones on and go walk for hours out at the end of McKinney. We lived at that trailer park down by the lake. Just hours and hours I'd be walking. I never had to worry that some weirdo was going to pick me up, or that never happened. But yeah, that answers my question. It would be at night. I like being out under the stars and the moon.
The moon looks so nice right now.
That would be amazing. Clearly, I don't do as much of that as I used to, but I've started to believe that some author wrote at one point about how you can walk your way to any result that you want. Like, walking is kind of the cure for everything. And if you think about humans, we were nomadic for so long. that it tracks. I know like people who are suffering lower back pain, unless you have like pinched nerves and things like that, they're going to tell you to walk. They're going to tell you to start walking every day.
That's how I feel better too. Yeah.
It helps. It helps your mentality. It helps all sorts of things. Here I don't really have a sidewalk though, so I tend to be on the treadmill if I walk at all.
Got a wide street though.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Got the school.
Dude, the school's what freaks me the fuck out because people use it as a thoroughfare. Like they park all the way down the street, and then people get used to this street being here, and we have kids right down the road that, you know, they sit in their cars 80% of the day, and they talk to other kids on the street, and we've seen them like peel out, and there's stupidity everywhere. I'm an old man now.
Oh, well, no, there is stupidity everywhere. No matter what age you are. But...
I don't believe you rated the IPA.
Oh, no, I did. It's a 7.
Okay.
It's great. It's great. And I kind of want more.
Well, we don't want to do... You have 2 glasses. I'll point that out. So you can have more.
I did.
I had 3 glasses. You've only had 2.
Nope.
It's fair.
I'm going to wait, but I'm having a little water while I'm waiting.
Water deficient? So...
Something like that.
Martin House, for some reason, has become... I guess because they're the big thing right now. They put out the pickle beer.
That's my name.
And now everyone's got to have it.
They're trendy. Well, you know what? People can pronounce their name. That's helpful.
You ought to have, like, all of the people in your orbit just show up at your parents' house out of nowhere. Look for, like, a meet and greet.
Oof.
Can you imagine?
That's funny that you say orbit. That is really funny that you say orbit. Oh, that's so funny.
Okay.
Oh, man. Now that you're talking about orbit, can I just mention something?
You can mention anything you want to.
Remember I told you that this would be a special session?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well... The number... I'm not sure what this number is. But there's a number on the side of this ocean spray. And it is my angel numbers.
Okay.
Which show up to me every single day, multiple times a day now.
Okay.
But see, it can have a 0 or a 1, because 0s and 1s are gimmies when they're in between my angel numbers. So this is my 3 angel numbers with a bunch of 0s and 1s is the other numbers.
Are you going to tell people what they are?
Oh, I can totally tell people what the number is. This number is 213-630-12.
36.
362. 326. 623. Yeah. Oh. And so yeah, I told Shane here.
Shane.
Shane. I told Shane here.
But nothing about an orbit so far. She's still. No. Come on, I distracted.
No, I could go into the orbit. The orbit's just so much more involved, and you probably don't want to hear about it. But just know that, like, I've been sitting here looking at my angel numbers for like the last however long.
Well, that's good.
That's very good.
I apologize if orbit struck a nerve.
No.
I've been editing rated radio content, and I recently was talking about Haskins. Because I put one of his songs from We Beasties on one of my playlists, and me and that dude go way back. So I was thinking about, because I was talking about it, about how we used to co-write letters to a friend of ours from grade school when we got into middle school. And mine was like serious nerd shit because I'm one of her real good friends. And his was mainly like, I want to put my penis here and it would do this to you. And, you know, like, these would be like the co-written letters that we would write. And I'm trying to imagine, like, Mr. Nice Guy showing up with Haskins and us still loving each other at your parents' house. Like, how do these two function? How does that work? I've been spinning this can for 10 minutes now. There's no ABV. This is the Bockslider from Martin House. It's the Toadies Texas Bock, clearly named after the Toadies.
Love it. I love the Toadies.
Oh, and it's a Bock.
Is it the Toadies or just Toadies?
Toadies.
Well, I love Toadies.
You can say the Toadies. I think
That's
they
what
wouldn't
I've always
care.
said. You don't think they care? I don't think they give a shit either.
If they do, they're pretentious, and they don't sound pretentious.
They're probably not from Texas then.
Exactly.
Because nobody from Texas is pretentious.
Have you slept overnight in a car?
Aww.
That's our question. This one smells sweet, almost to a raisin quality, but not...
Prune.
Yeah, even that, but not in an off-putting way, so I'm hoping the taste doesn't... I still think it's probably going to be Bock.
Kind of chocolatey.
Oh, yeah. And we've been sitting here bullshitting for so long, it's warmed quite a bit, and it's still...
Definitely.
It's kind of a shame that this brewery got as big as it did on Best Made Pickle Juice. Because, I mean, maybe they didn't. Maybe they were huge before then off their sours or something. Some of the beers I've tasted from them recently are exquisite.
All right, I gotta talk about the Orbit thing.
Go for it.
Especially since you brought up Richard. He's not part of this, but...
We're just going to pretend.
Okay. Just,
Sorry,
I'll get your opinion as a dude. Get your opinion as a dude. Alright. Recently, I was seeing someone who knows that I have a good friend who's my ex. It's been years since we dated. We dated for years. I also have other people that I've gone out with or dated that are in my, what you might call orbit, which is bigger all the time because I have like projects that incorporate other people. Maybe, you know, this one ex that I'm talking about is like super close to me, but maybe like some of the other ones are a little bit further out. Anyway, so this guy I was seeing knows all this. Okay. But was like really insecure, I guess, whenever I was hanging out with people other than him, even though I was giving him a lot of time. But what he said specifically was, and it was really funny because it was supposed to be like an apology, but I'll tell you roundabout what it said. You seem to have a group of wounded young men orbiting you. And what he said is that he started getting a little upset because he felt as though I was pushing him into the orbit with the wounded men. Oh. Let me back up. There was a group of wounded young men in my orbit that were around me holding on to the slightest shred of hope that I might throw acknowledgement or interest their way.
Okay, well, that's a lot more.
That is a lot more. Yeah, I don't want to forget that part. Yeah, that was in the apology. Like, wow. That's an apology? No, so yeah, apparently I have all these wounded young men in my orbit that I'm just dangling carrot in front of all the time. And he was upset because he thought that I was trying to like push him into that orbit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't give a dude opinion so much because I think his knife kind of cuts both ways. I will say, as someone who had a lot of female friends, I still think if you look at the numbers, it's majority female. Even though I don't tend to go out and party with them or, you know, do whatever they're doing. You know, we don't go on wine tours or go to the drag shows on the weekend just because I sit those out. Most are female though. And that's always been true. And it was super refreshing to come across someone who was not insecure about that. I think even making comments like that, it probably says more about the person who says it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Than the fact that you have friends.
And you know what? I know some of those guys like me. I know some of those guys love me. What's not to fucking love? Guess what? you should feel even better that those guys want me and love me and may have something to offer me, but I want to be with you. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Easier said than done. I get it. I'm not a jealous person. I've never been there. I'm not a jealous person. If you want somebody else, go with somebody else.
Insecurity, I think, pushes a lot of people away from things that are probably good for them.
Yeah.
I was prepared to talk about whirlwind type romance and how maybe that's a stronger pull, but it's meant to not last as long. But I think looking a little more in depth, like maybe you could maintain it long term, but really it's probably insecurity on one part of the. I'm rambling. I don't know.
It just was so beautiful, and now it's just so silly. When it doesn't even have to be silly. It could just be beautiful. Whatever. People are stupid and insecure.
I think what that says is it was beautiful in your head. And that's the hard part to let go of.
I don't know. It's pretty beautiful. I could go into it, but I don't know if they would appreciate it. If I went into it at all, I bet half this damn town would know what I'm talking about.
Likely unfair for me to say it like that. It probably feels like I'm attacking you, and that's not the case.
I don't feel attacked.
Good. So this
First
beer...
of all, I'm not at my parents' house.
So we're... I hope you have the meanest parents on the planet.
I don't. I really don't. They're just like everyone else. Really difficult to deal with on a daily basis.
Okay.
But no, they're not like terrible. They had to show me some terrible situations when I was a kid and say, "Aren't you glad those aren't your parents? Aren't you glad we treat you well?"
That's fun.
That is so fun, and if I had children, that's exactly how I would raise them.
So you're not mad at it?
I'm so mad I'm never having children.
Well, okay. Brutality.
Hey, that's what they get.
Okay. Hopefully that's not your only reasoning, because that would be rough.
No. It's the pain, dude.
It is pain.
It's the pain.
It is pain. I've talked till I'm blue in the face to people I know, because everybody asks, when are you going to have kids? When are you going to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I always want people to understand, no matter which way you go, I think people should be supportive of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not a decision to make lightly.
Mm-mm.
And it's...
No.
You might be happier. You might not be happier, but the problem is you can't know. It's not like once you have the kids, you can just fucking get rid of them. If you do, I've shared my feelings on that topic. I'm going to leave it alone. This beer, you've been out of for quite a while, I think. So I'm guessing it was okay.
No, yeah, it was good. It was good. I thought we were talking about something else.
I'm sorry.
Nope. Well, I think I need to have a little more then, because then I need to know.
You know what's fun about editing is that I can cut anything I want to. So, but if you were Rayburn, I could also leave in anything I want to.
Seriously, I'd say more, but everybody would just know. It just can't be like that. It's not Richard. I swear to God, it's not Richard.
I assumed when you were talking about working with him today that it wasn't Richard.
Okay, good. Yeah, it would never be Richard. But you know what? It does piss me off that this person was like including him in like the group of wounded young men who just want my attention or acknowledgement, which is just, I don't know.
That's kind of overreach.
That is not me. First of all, I just want to hang. I'm just a guy's gal. I'm just a gal pal. I'm just a gal pal.
I hope you're not looking at me for input here, because
there are guys that I date who are... Okay, I'm just going to get off topic a little bit. There are guys that I date who are jealous of Johnny Stevens. They are jealous of me being in love with Johnny Stevens, and they know that we'll be together one day, and they know it's just a matter of time. They are super insecure about it. Just gonna say it, just throwing it right out there right now. That's what's happening. In every last 5-6 relationships I've had, they see Johnny's pictures on my wall, and they're like, oh shit. And then they can't deal. They can't even listen to me talk about him.
Yeah, that's tough. Because, I don't know.
Because
maybe you'll meet him, and maybe...
I've already met him, I've already talked to him, and he already knows that we're going to be together.
I'm not, following Liv Tyler everywhere she goes, and assuming I'm going to make it happen, so...
I'm just saying, dude posts cryptic messages to me. That's all I'm saying.
That Bockslider is an 8. I just want to get that out before I forget.
Bockslider.
Yeah, the Toadies beer.
Oh, Toadies. That's the one. That's right. I did rate the IPA 7 because it is great.
It's
This is the Bock.
It's going to
Bockslider.
appeal to fans of chocolate and caramel.
Toadies.
Yeah. If you like Bock, you're still going to like this beer, even though if you like stouts, you're still going to like this beer. It walks this middle line that's pretty perfect. If I had any negative, it would be, and this isn't a negative for me, but I can see it being a negative for some people, is that it smells like soy sauce.
It's got an umami smell.
Yep.
Yeah. Meaty. Very. But it's not bad.
No. Aged,
like
it's been worked on. Right. Umami.
Oh, yeah. No, it's good. I'm gonna put this as a 6.
All right.
Only because, it's a personal 6. I don't think that has any reflection on the actual beer itself. That is a personal rating. But that's what you're asking for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know how
speak
you
for
really
everyone.
feel about it, not what everyone else will think.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's good. It's a good one.
If I was rating for everyone I loved and cared about, I wouldn't have given a 4 to Keystone Light.
I just can't. How do you have more than one of these?
Do you want me to answer that honestly? I mean, I could probably eat like if I woke up in the morning and there was sesame chicken here, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I could eat on that all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Same with this type of beer. I mean, I could power my way through it because I just enjoy the taste. It's something I would think later in the year, fall, Christmas, when it's cold outside.
Yes.
It's campfire sort of beer.
Yeah, campfire beer.
Yeah, I could definitely see why Toadies would put their name on that because it's awesome and Toadies are awesome.
They are.
So, have you slept overnight in a car?
Yes. I got 2 stories. I drove to, 3 stories. I've made 2 very long road trips and stayed in rest areas. And that is awesome. I totally recommend that to anybody.
Can be.
Ever. I had a very comfortable car. I got a folding mattress, bamboo, nice Tempur-Pedic, and put little curtains up in the back of my ride. And made sure I eyeballed the weirdos. I did see a couple of them. I eyeball them. I look them dead square. I'm up and down, man.
So that's where I think men and women have something in common. Rest stops. We all have to worry.
We all have to worry because it's a weird place.
It's a weird place. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. But the most memorable time I spent the night in a car, I went out with some friends and we were 17 and my friend was on the sly seeing this. She was a she. My friend was seeing another she. They didn't think that I knew. They were lesbians. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. I feel like we have this we talk about this routinely and it always surprises me. I think because there was nothing surprising about it, seeing all of you out in public that day. There was... Go ahead.
Because everyone just assumed I was gay, too. So they were like, this is a band of lesbians out together. Anyway.
I never assumed that.
Yeah, you're smart. Smarter than the average bear.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend had the hots for this chick, and they didn't think I knew, but we all went out. We were driving around, and then we parked back at the chick's apartment complex, and I was like, "Oh, I'll sleep in the car. You know, you guys can go up to." I was being a good wing woman friend. Thank you very much. But so she locked me in the Jeep, and apparently there were people that came up to the window at one point of the night, because I remember people like knocking. That's when I first woke up. Wow. I didn't really go back to sleep. But at 7, I really had to pee. And I couldn't get out of the car. It was all locked. And I couldn't unlock the car because the alarm was going to go off.
I got you.
Right. So I'm like texting her. She's not answering. I had to drink the watered down spray. It was in the Taco Bell cup so that I could pee in the Taco Bell cup.
That's awesome. But
they came down. They came down at like 8 o'clock. And the first thing she grabbed was the fucking Taco Bell cup. And I said, don't! In hindsight, I should have just let her go for it. But
I mean,
I would never let anyone do that. But like, she seriously, this is the first thing she went for when she opened up the car. And I was like, no!
Especially when you're young, though. It crosses your mind. This is what we're supposed to do. Let them drink the piss cup, right?
I mean, she left me sitting in that car, and it might have actually been a lot later than I thought it was. Like, I remember sitting in that car being miserable for a long time, just thinking, like, God damn it, at some point she has to realize I'm still in the back of her fucking car. But you know what? This friend probably forgot I was in the back of her fucking car. Probably.
Yeah, it sucks, too.
But that's when I slept with someone.
You were real patient and chill.
That's a real friend.
And you're still patient and chill. I don't know why I phrased it like that. Apologies. The IPA is going to my head. You have a third, I'm to understand?
Oh, well, the 2 times, basically, I had traveled, like, across country and slept in rest areas. And one time, it was with the guy that I was seeing, and that was, like, he got me, like, the intro into doing that. And then, like, 6 months later, I did it on my own. And that was cool. Yeah. Yeah. But people watch out for you when traveling solo female.
Oh, that's good to know.
People watch out for you too, because they're like, "Oh, she must be scared."
Unsolved Mysteries, because I'm an old man who still rewatches 90s shows.
I used to crawl into like bed with my grandmother, watch Unsolved Mysteries.
My grandmother, yes. This is who you're dealing with. One of the things I like about that show is much more routinely you can look up like what's happened. Are there any updates that they don't show you? And there are updates. You don't get that these days.
They're doing work.
Yes. Still, to this day. Except for the Netflix remake, which is garbage.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolute garbage. Shares nothing in common with that original show.
I don't do reboots, man. I don't, period. They're all garbage, in my opinion.
So bad.
And it's just like a matter of time before they ruin everything. I'm just like, I can't even talk about anything, so I'm like, no, as soon as I do, there'll be a fucking reboot about it.
What's cool about it, what I like about it, it's the same way I feel about certain samples, certain song samples. I think back to my childhood, right? MC Hammer's Have You Seen Her? I still like the song. I still have like a fondness for it. It is a sample-ish where he wrote his own lyrics on top of the Shy Lights, Have You Seen Her? Which is one of the greatest songs of all time. Stuff like that. What's cool for the kids that are coming up into this garbage that they're making all over the place is that they will eventually get to rediscover all of this cool shit that was turned into garbage. And then instead of it feeling like we peaked in our entertainment as we were growing up and now everything is garbage, they might have the opposite reaction. Like, it just gets cooler and cooler the longer they live because they experience more and more that was of better quality. I don't know that I can top your overnight in a car thing, but stopped at a rest stop with my ex-fiance and slept there on our way to Tennessee. Turned the car off, didn't roll any windows down. We woke up like gasping for air. I still, it's one of the entries on like my gratitude thing. Like, glad I woke up, because you could easily not, you know? So, that's my story. Are you ready to try the juice? Do you feel it?
We can. I thought of another time I slept in a car.
Good, because I want more IPA.
The funny thing is it was after hanging out with you all night.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm going to say one word. Hypnotic.
Well, that was a lot of nights, though. Maybe not a lot, but it was some nights.
Then we went out there. We went to your apartment at Westwind. Because I lived there. I also lived at this apartment complex. Not at the time.
Oh, you weren't like being facetious about the fact that you were at our apartment a lot. It was
I lived at Westwind. I couldn't remember the name, but I lived there. Not on that side, on the other side.
Pauline went back at one point.
It wasn't a bad place. It just kept raising the rent.
Yeah.
But I pay less in my house now renting it than I would have 6 years ago at Westwood in an apartment, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom house now. Anyway,
when we moved back to town, it was crazy.
Yeah,
it's like that's more than double what I used to pay.
They got super greedy out there.
What, 05, 06?
And like all it is like it's like the nastiest part of anyway, I won't go into it, but slept in a car. Partied all night with you, hypnotic. Probably some drinking games with that lesbian girl I was just talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so none of us could really go home because, well, maybe we were 18 and maybe we were all living at home. And anyway, we couldn't go home because we were all staying the night at somebody's house.
Yeah, we're all 21. I don't have any idea.
But I also worked at a car wash at the time. And so I had my friends who went parked over at the car wash. Because it wasn't open at the time. We just needed to get a couple hours of sleep. I'm pretty sure I had to go to the car wash to work the next morning. But we slept in the parking lot, in the car, and it was so hot. We'd gone to the lake earlier. Did you go with us to the lake?
No, I didn't.
I don't think you did. Yeah, it was just us girls. Just us girls. Partied all night, and then we went hiking at the lake. And then we fell asleep in the car at the car wash parking lot.
I can't imagine that being pitched to me after a night of hypnotic. Hey, we're going to the lake. Do you realize I go out there and jog like every other day? The lookout point that's closed now. What the hell? By the way.
Which one? Which side?
Ildevoy. It's the first thing you cross after the...
That's been closed since the great floods and debris haul of 2000 and...
I figured they closed it on purpose. I heard they couldn't control, like... Well, yeah, obviously they closed it on purpose, but I figured it was drugs.
No. When we had those floods, 2014, 15, whatever it was, I can't remember. That whole area got all flooded.
It's right before I came back. Awesome.
And you know what happened? Nobody did anything with it. And so shit got fucked up back there. Because guess what? Big floating debris does. It fucks shit up. Mm-hmm. Water fucks shit up. The elements fuck shit up. So yeah, nobody wanted to do anything with it. And they weren't making money off of it. Didn't see a big, need. And yeah, that's what happens. And then 6-7 years later, nobody can use it. I peek down there every time I pass by it just to see, is it roped off? Is it cleared? Is it cars parked back there?
I saw some equipment out there at one point. And I got real excited, but I don't think they're going to reopen it.
You know what? I bet if a group of citizens went out there and cleared it up, we could open it for ourselves.
I know at one point they were trying to keep people from jumping off the cliffs out there. You know, because that was a...
Just let them do it.
But
I want to jump off the train trestle. Let me do it. Let my dumb ass do it.
It didn't. It's fun.
Yeah, they just, it also costs a lot to, like, recover bodies and care flight them. But you know what? They're gonna send me the bill.
Yeah.
Let the insurance company pay for it. Don't get me started on insurance companies. That's not where this night's going.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what I do for a living.
No.
It might make you feel better now to know what I do for a living, because now you're thinking the wrong thing, but that's all right.
What do you do?
Insurance administration.
Yeah,
I file claims. That's what I thought. But the type of insurance that I do is not health, it's life. So it's not actually ripping people off. It's you rolling the dice on whether or not you're going to die or die in an accident. Which is a hell of a lot. Never mind.
No. I want to tell you, the last time I had an actual suicidal desire, and this might have been like cry for help at the time, but like the car was moving and I opened the door and I was about to toss myself out of it. But legit, 10 minutes before that, I'd been married like a year. I called for life insurance and the motherfucker said to me, your life is not worth insuring at this time. And I obviously had other things going on at the time. Yeah. I was married, so yes, I was very depressed. But yeah, no, hearing that and just want to toss myself on out. Like, it's not why, but
being surprised when I first saw certain certificates of insurance. It's not universally applicable, so don't kill yourself, period. Okay, let's start there.
Suicide.
We went the wrong way in the beginning of this episode. We're going to end... we're not going to end there, but don't kill yourself.
We're not going to end there.
Certain life insurance policies, they have an exclusion for suicide.
Sure.
Only lasts a year. It's like if you've been paying for it for a year, go ahead and kill yourself. What? Okay. So we still have the ruby red grapefruit ocean spray to try. It doesn't say grapefruit. It probably does say it somewhere, but our question is, I'll let you read it. Because I'm intoxicated and I want to try ruby red grapefruit.
What would you have said as the first person to set foot on the moon?
Oh my God.
What would you have said? Really?
Apparently. Got me thinking, like, do I have to pretend I'm in the time period? Can it be right now?
Yeah, my imagination's going wild. I've got... I would have said, man, I'm just real stoked to have met Stanley.
Yeah?
He's my favorite.
You think Kubrick shot
Strange Love was awesome. Nah, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't alive then. Oh, I brought that up, though. My dad was, like, pissed. It doesn't surprise me. He gets pissed about, like, all sorts of little things. Just, my questions in general. But, yeah, I was just... brought up the notion. He was just like, ugh. I mean, he didn't say it, but like that. But he was just like, you will not question what I saw with my own eyes. You will not question that. That is like a defining moment in my life. Yeah.
Well, Holly's dad, don't ever blame me if I meet you. I didn't force this on her. She's just doing it. And I don't want to throw her under the bus, but she's doing it.
Yeah.
She's keeping that ruby red all to herself too.
So,
down there.
First of all, if you could buy like a ticket commercially to space, and I'm sure that like some people can, but I can't afford it. But like if you could for like $10,000, I'd go to space.
Okay.
Even if there was no chance of coming back, I want to see space.
Brutal.
Yeah. No, it would be brutal.
This smells like Boone's Farm.
The grapefruit juice.
It does.
This makes me smell. Anyway. This makes me feel. Smells like my grandmother.
Your grandma smells like this?
I mean, no, she's been dead for a long time. She might smell like this. I don't think it would be this pleasant, but kind of sour like that. Did it, Grandma? This isn't as tart.
I got one too.
This is not tart like a normal grapefruit. It tastes like sugar-free pink lemonade.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing I love about the diet, because it's primarily the fake sugar aspect of it.
Wait, it is? Wait.
I'm sure it's got some carb in it. I think what they throw in is like cornstarch or something to give it some...
Sucralose. I don't have any cornstarch, though.
What's in it? Just sucralose?
Estragon.
Okay.
I don't even know. I mean, I know what an ester is, but I don't know what... I don't see estragon on a lot of...
I'm about to say, the sucralose wouldn't rank anything in the way of carbohydrate. There's body to this, I think is what we're saying. But the body is not like that sugar crystal gonna make you sick thing that you're getting from like a Boone's Farm or a Muscat wine.
Moscato? Moscato? That's the word.
It's technically Muscat. That's a joke. That's a little joke. I can see ruby red, okay? They don't actually tell you grapefruit, so you kind of... It doesn't feel like grapefruit.
It doesn't tell you grapefruit? It just says ruby... Wait, is this not grapefruit juice? It's not. It's ruby red. You're right. I've been misled.
I think on... I got them from Kroger. I think it said ruby red grapefruit.
Well, that's what I think when I think ruby red, but...
But you're right. It does taste... It's pink lemonade.
Is that what pink lemonade is? Is that what that is?
Give me the fucking line. If I had to guess based on this, yes.
That's what it tastes like.
This one only contains 4% juice, but it is an excellent source of vitamin C.
Is it?
That's what it says here. Still 5 calories per cup.
Still 5 calories, even for the diet. Yes, definitely giving me grandma vibes. Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
I'm gonna go up 7 on that one. That's personal preference.
I'm gonna go 6 on it. It's not. It's good. I don't like it as much as I like the cranberry, which I also gave a 6. But in the ways of diet juice, I don't. I won't shy away from them. I think they're quite tasty.
Slightly umami or maybe salty popsicle water.
Ooh.
But it has a grapefruit smell. So if that's off-putting to you, you may not enjoy that.
I would love that on Sunday morning with champagne. I could make mimosas from that. Be like pink lemonade's mimosa.
I'm beginning to get the feeling that
all the sugar.
Most things with champagne you'd be good with.
Yes, I love champagne. Yes.
You are not in good company.
Why? You don't like champagne at all?
I have, I think, in the past. It's just been a long time since I've had one that I've enjoyed.
I think you need to have some mixed with that grapefruit juice, and it would change your world.
Okay. That's fair enough. It really does have a grapefruit smell. It tastes like pink lemonade. So, you rate it?
Yeah, I rated it a 6 alongside with the cranberry, but I thought I liked the cranberry better. Okay. But I'm also thinking about what I would say on the moon. So, do you got something?
I was trying to rob some lyrics from something on the wall, but no, straight away I don't have anything. If it's time period, you probably want to like spoil the future somehow. Like,
oh, you're a time traveler now?
I'm the first person who set foot on the moon was a long time ago.
Not that long ago.
She could be like, invest in Apple, invest in Amazon. You know what I mean?
You could. People probably like not know what you're talking about.
People would probably invest in apples.
Yeah, like, actual apples.
Fuji, Reds.
Smuckers. They make apple jam?
Apple butter.
Apple butter, yeah. If I got on the moon, God, I'd be like a totally different person. I'd be like an astronaut.
Literally.
Yeah. I would say hi, everybody.
No cheese in sight. Yep. No cheese in sight.
Now,
my daughter would be very mad.
What would you do if we never... Okay, like, this is a hard thing to think about, but like...
Would you eat the moon if it was made of ribs?
Oh, yeah. I'd slather it in barbecue sauce. Slather it in barbecue sauce. I'd eat it.
I was just trying to be a dick. What were you going to ask?
Oh, if it were today, if we were on today... Is it the first person on the moon? Okay.
First.
And okay, that is a really hard question. How do you answer that? You are not a time traveler. You are the first person.
I changed my answer. No cheese in sight.
No cheese in sight.
I would say something stupid like that. This is who you're dealing with. I'm
going to say, hi, Mom. Because it's 1969 and we're all lame.
You said something nice about your parents on this episode. That makes me feel a little bit better. So anyway, this is the mess that we have from Broken Bow, as well as the mess that we are. Help us keep the combo going by sharing our video. We'll see you next time for another round at...
Banter Bar.
I'm Shade.
And I'm Oliam.
Farewell, beer snobs.
I'll just leave you a little sip in case you want to go back.
I appreciate the sip. I think I could drink quite a bit of this.
I just want to see how it feels in my mouth.
I guess we'll see you next time.
On the Banter Bar.